love Edmonton. It is my home. And that's why I'm going around to all the locally, independently owned businesses that live, eat, and breathe everything that is YEG. I'm Thaddeus Archer III, and this is That About Town. I'm Thaddeus Archer III, local professional wrestling hype man. There's one thing I love more than wrestling, it's everything that is Edmonton. And one thing I love more than both of those is beer. And today, we are at a local brewery, Bent Stick Brewery. 5416 136 Ave, up in the nice little tucked away corner of Edmonton's northeast. These guys are making some amazing local craft beer. Let's go inside to take a look. I'm excited. Woohoo! And here we are at Bent Stick Brewery with my buddy Ben. Pleasure to meet you, sir.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to shake your hand.
Thanks for coming out.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. I'm a huge fan, huge craft beer fan. Also a huge fan of Bent Stick because I actually live in the area. Shout out to Spirits of Belmont. That's where I tend to pick up a lot of your guys' stuff.
Yeah, they're great and supportive.
Great supportive spots. But coming here has been sort of a top priority for me, and I'm so glad to actually be at the brewery. It looks great. The mural here is amazing. We'll head in a second here, but I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about the history of Bent Stick, how it started, who's involved.
Sure, yeah, no problem. I met my partners working at Alley Cat Brewing, here in Edmonton. So they've been around for 25 years and sort of did all the hard work of selling craft beer when people weren't as into it as they are now. And so we learned on the job at Alley Cat, and we didn't leave there to start Bent Stick. We kind of went our separate ways, but the regulations in Alberta made it a little more favorable to start a small brewery, and we kind of
recently
banded together, and we're a happy little foursome here up on our sketchy industrial bay, Fort Road.
Yeah, and so how'd you get the name Bent Stick and the Wizard here? Because that's all your bottles. That's the brand. How did that come about?
So I'm lucky enough. My better half is a graphic designer, and so when we sat down and she was saying sort of, what's the vision for your brand? And we'd had quite a few beers, and at that point our only vision for the brand was to get a delivery van with like a sweet airbrushed 80s wizard on it. And she sort of said, well, potions and alchemy, that's kind of like brewing. And the next morning we woke up and we'd gone full wizard.
Full wizard, and then Bent Stick?
Bent Stick. So we're technically a nano brewery, and so we're so small that we actually still stir the mash by hand with a mash paddle.
Oh!
Yeah, so most breweries, you hit a button and there's rakes that stir the mash for you, but we still get to put a bend on the old stick. That's sort of the story behind the name, yeah.
Oh, cool. And the wizard, does he have a name?
Jeff. Yeah.
Jeff the Wizard.
People always ask if it's Gandalf or something like that, but it's Jeff the
Jeff
Wizard.
with a G?
No, we went J. We even
wow.
we know how to spell it and everything. It's plain old Jeff, yeah.
Plain old Jeff. All right, well, we'll take a look inside. We sort of covered the history, but now we'll get to the real heart of the matter, the beers.
Sounds good.
All right, let's head inside.
I'm parched.
I am too. Age before beauty. Right, here we are inside, and I'm like a kid in a candy store right now. This is insane. I'm familiar with some of your products. Just gonna run through here. BS Wit. I've never had it before. You say you have it on tap?
We do have it on tap.
Awesome. Great setup there with washing the glass. That little rig there, that's amazing.
Yeah, this is a pretty nice fridge. Anyone who'd ever been here probably do half pours in case we work our way through a few beers.
Yeah.
But this is a little bit of the BS Wit.
Okay.
When we started, we just had a junky little fridge with 2 taps, but recently we upgraded to this fridge with the growler filler and the glass rinser, and we can have 6 beers on tap, and it's pretty nice for
professional
variety.
It's amazing. Oh,
yeah,
great. I'm gonna try the BS Wit here. So you said a spiced Belgian style wheat ale.
Yeah, so like a Belgian white
Okay.
A lot of people are familiar with Hogarden as a popular
Yes,
commercial
absolutely.
example,
Yeah.
so it's kind of in that line, that style of beer.
Okay, I'll take a drink here. Oh wow, that goes down really easy. That is spectacular. And yeah, like very much dials back the sort of spice of it, but you still have the spice there. What is this, like 5%?
It's 4.5.
4.5, yeah, very, like, this is like a summer.
Yeah, this
Summer
is sort
beer.
of like our summer kind of patio crushing beers. kind
Yeah,
of
so and
beer.
that's why I noticed recently that you've always had the bottles here.
Yeah.
And that's where I bought all my Bent Stick, but now you have cans.
Yeah, so we always had these big bombers because everything's hand labeled and hand capped, so the bigger bottles mean half as much work, really.
Yeah.
But last year we spent a lot of our time brewing the wit beer and our IPA, which are really popular. And so in order to get more room in our little brewery and brew some weirder stuff, we brewed a big batch of the wit beer at a brewery in Calgary with a canning line. We're really small and we're nowhere near springing for a canning line ourselves. So brewing a batch of the wit beer at a brewery with that equipment already allows us to have cans for summertime, for your camping, fishing.
Yeah, taking it anywhere on the go, putting it in a cooler with some ice and keeping it nice and cool. And Electric Boogaloo, we'll focus on that real quick. We'll switch it off here and get to the art teacher's office in a second. But Electric Boogaloo, you told me something just a little bit ago. That is sort of your flagship beer, right?
Yeah.
And that's how I got my first taste, excuse the pun, but taste of Bent Stick was Electric Boogaloo. And I'm not the hugest IPA fan, but
Yep.
that was like perfect IPA. It was easy, drinkable, extra flavor to it without being too bitter. And you were saying you might be putting that in the cans this summer, hopefully? Fingers crossed?
Yeah. We like to say that that's the beer that's threatening to turn us into a real business. Electric Boogaloo is the best seller. The wit beer was sort of the easiest to scale up.
Yeah.
And we wanted to just sort of test it out with the wit beer, and we're hoping to have wit beer and Boogaloo in tallboy cans for the summer. So we've already got a brew schedule to get Electric Boogaloo into cans.
Nice. In time for the camping season.
Yeah.
We're getting there. And like I mentioned before, we'll try another beer in a second, but I know you don't have this on tap, but the art teacher's office I found really interesting because you've already made this previously, right?
Yeah, we did a batch for, it was ready for when the pot came legal.
Yes.
And our teacher's office is actually a reference from The Simpsons. There's an episode where Homer's smoking marijuana and Lisa says, "It smells like the art teacher's office."
Yes,
So
yeah.
that's where the name comes from.
Brought it back again. You've tweaked a little bit, right?
Yeah, we added some new hop varieties from what it was last time, and it's sort of a newer, danker formula. It came off a little bit fruitier last time, and this time I think it really delivers on what we're advertising on the label. We're pretty happy with it.
We'll move on to what else you might have on tap. I'll leave it up to you. You are the brewmaster, so.
Yeah, we've got Boogaloo. We could also we've done our first kettle sour it was a collaboration we did with Grain Bin Brewing. They're another nano brewery in Grand Prairie.
Yes.
You want to try a splash of that one, maybe?
And that one is the Coming Up Gozes?
Coming Up Gozes. It's Goza is a old German beer style that's brewed with a little bit of salt, and it's also a little bit tart. So this was our first time we've ever kettle soured anything. So you add bacteria in the kettle, sort of the same bacteria you would find in yogurt, and it gives the beer. Yeah, lactobacillus is the bacteria, and so that's a Goza. It's got a little bit of salinity. We bought the pinkest, fanciest salt we could find at Silk Road on White Ave.
Okay.
And, the guys from Grain Bin brought some Haskap berry juice. There's a Haskap orchard near their brewery, and so that's what gives it its color, and it gives it an extra little snappy tartness.
Tartness to it. Oh, try it out here. Oh, that is great. Wow. And that's not like, some sours, I know everybody has their own taste. Some sours are a little too much punch in the face. Like, it's like, to me personally, some sours taste like the beer just went bad. You know, like, but this is great. Like, nice balanced sour, has that tartness, and like you said, on the end, it had the sour when I initially drank it, but then on the end you get that nice little back of the throat tickle the tartness as well.
Yeah, it turned out, we're really happy with how it turned out, especially for our first shot with that sort of thing. So,
and it's great to see collaborations. You know, the one thing I love about Edmonton area brewers, or even Alberta brewers, you know, you've worked with people in Calgary, is it's like this tight-knit community. There doesn't seem to be, like, there's competition, but there doesn't seem to be competition. Everybody's helping each other out. People are collaborating. I almost wish wrestling sometimes was a better community, more tight-knit community, like the brewers here in Alberta. So
yeah, we I guess we're only 10% of the market, so you see all these breweries popping up, but we're still sort of taking tap handles from maybe the big corporate breweries and not really competing with each other. And I know traditionally people are really brand loyal, so you might be I don't know if I should name brands on the podcast, but you know, maybe you're a something dry guy, or this person's a coconut person.
Yes.
And you're really loyal to that brand. Whereas
that's what they bought.
Craft beer drinkers, if I convert somebody who walks in here and they try craft beer for the first time, they're not going to be a loyal Bent Stick only drinker. They're going to go to Town Square on the south side. They're going to go to Blind Enthusiasm, because once you're into it, you're into all of it.
It snowballed. That's how it started for me. When I had one of my first craft beers, it was actually a bock of all things. It just opened up like an entire world, and to go everywhere from IPAs to saisons to sours, and you can just go on and on. But this is amazing. You only have so much made of this, right? This isn't going to be a regular thing. You can only get this for a short period of time.
We keep the wit and the boogaloo around. We have a pale ale called Swap the Hops that we do with different hop varieties each time.
Yeah.
Those are generally around all the time, but pretty much everything else we do is one-off batches.
And then like Goes is just a one-off collaboration.
Yeah, and half of it went to Grain Bin and Grand Prairie, so we're already a tiny brewery and we have half as much as we need.
Oh,
so
get down and get this before it's gone. Yeah. That's why I'm also a little bit of a comic nerd, and you know, you got your like variant limited edition stuff, and that's what I love about like the local breweries is like you only get to try this beer once, and when it's gone, it's gone. And speaking of like super limited edition, we're not trying this today because this hasn't been released yet. Yeah, it's upcoming, and so hopefully we can showcase it to everyone, and you can pick it up when the episode comes out. But Wizard's Reserve, this is a completely different bottle. Yeah. Tell me a little something about this.
So we've got just 4 oak barrels sitting in the brewery, and we're looking to do mixed fermentation beers in those. So that means instead of just using traditional brewing yeast, we'll use things like bacteria and more. This one is actually with Brettanomyces, which is sort of people would call it a wild yeast.
Okay.
But we brewed a saison, we pitched it into these wine barrels, and then added some Brettanomyces, which gives some fun, funky flavor and really dries the beer out. And so it aged in the barrels for months, and then in the bottles for a couple more months, and it's tasting really nice. And we're excited to get that out in the world. And so that's volume 1, and we hope to keep it as a series, do different fun things with the barrels. And
as you go, is this going to be in relation to like an anniversary, or just a different line, something interesting and
just a different line? We're coming up on our 3rd anniversary.
Yeah,
we've never been good at celebrating, and maybe we should do better to have a party this round, but that should be out a bit before our 3rd anniversary.
Oh, so just in time, yeah. Even this bottle is just weird. You know, it kind of reminds me of the strange German style or European style bottles. It's not something you often see in like local craft breweries. So that's awesome.
Can't wait to get that out in the world for sure. You're saying you really like Electric Boogaloo.
It's actually been probably a month or two since I've had some Boogaloo.
Talk about the flavor notes a bit.
Absolutely. I just had your barley wine again the other night, and that's one of my favorites. That's sort of a yearly tradition for you now, right?
Yeah, we released that. We call it Resolutions, and we release it around the Christmas season. And we just sold out of this year's batch, so
I'm glad I got one more. Yeah. I don't mind waiting, but this is Electric Boogaloo. This is the meat and potatoes. This is what's going to make Bent Stick the next big thing in brewing in Alberta. So I'll give it a taste. I've had it before, but we'll give it a taste right off the tap here. Yeah, see, it has the hops, but it doesn't have the bitterness. It has almost like a fruity flavor.
Yeah, all the fruit. People always ask us if there's grapefruit or something in it.
Yes.
But all that fruitiness just comes from
hops.
The buckets and buckets of hops we dump in that sucker.
Yeah, this would be like And I think you mentioned before you paired this with pineapple. We did a special cask with pineapple.
Yeah, we did a cask on the rail car here in Edmonton, that's sort of above the river, and put on by the Edmonton Beer Geeks Anonymous. And we primed the cask with pineapple juice, so that fermented and provided the carbonation in that cask. Yeah, it turned out really nice.
Yeah, that would go well because it really is super fruity. Like there's a very fruity, like grapefruit, like you said, and with the little bit of the bitterness that you get, not super bitterness, it reminds you of a grapefruit because when you have a grapefruit, it has that kind of sourness to it, right? But this would pair well with. Next time you happen to do it with pineapple, or if you do it with any sort of citrus type thing, I would love to try that. But I could drink this, like that's why I love to have it in the cans, because I could drink this all day long in the summer, you know.
Yeah, we're looking forward to having it in cans.
No, this seriously one of the best IPAs in Alberta. For me personally, if not the best. I love it. One other thing I'd just like to point out is you guys, and what I really appreciate with Bent Stick, I noticed on social media you really support local. You sell things here, Saul's Pepperoni Snack Pack from Saul's.
Yeah.
Some booch. What is it called? Sorry.
From Bucha. They brew kombucha in the basement of the Starlight Room. Actually, we have some chips that are made with cricket flour by some local people. The company's called Kamola, and we met them at a farmers market. We do a farmers market on 124th Street on Thursday nights, and so we made a lot of fun friends through that, and that's how we met the people from Bucha and Kamola, and it's a great community.
Different companies. I've seen you work with my good friends Northern Chicken and Arcadia and a few other places. I love that. You know, part of the reason why we're doing That About Town is just to help create and grow that network of all of us local Edmonton area, you know, supporters, businesses, and get it out to the people more.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in Edmonton working hard to make this a fun place to be and eat and drink, and it's fun to be part of that community. Oh, you're doing a great job on the drinking portion, so thank you so much. Thanks for coming.
Make sure you come down, Bent Stick Brewery, 5416 136 Ave. Yeah. It's a little tucked away. They got some signs out on the street over on Fort Road, so just look at Google Map it, but 5416 136 Ave, a little industrial park here, but I like that it's tucked away. This is great. In the summer, you also you're working on having...
We're applying for a patio license.
Patio license.
That turns out. And we're open Friday and Saturday. Friday 3 till 7, Saturday noon till 6. Pretty busy with brewing and everything the rest of the week.
Obviously, but you know, it's a great way to start the weekend. You got a great little spot to sit here, and I love the atmosphere, so thank you again.
Yeah, thanks for
coming. And this was fun. This was absolutely great. This beer is amazing, people. Come on down and try Bent Stick Brewery. I love it. There's no more. I'm going to drink more beer. Or churro. More beer.